Fighting games grant us a diverse and varied range of characters to pick. Yet because the avatars we choose somewhat reflect an aspect of ourselves, whether it be through gameplay or design, we often find ourselves confined to one or two characters. A huge factor for this is also the time investment to become comfortable with the character. Some people play for decades and are still building their mastery for their fighting game vessel. Now, whilst we may become really skilled at a single character and perform feats that would make a really nice combo video, fighting games are not a one-player endeavour. Being great at your character allows you to execute the gameplay effectively and grants you the freedom to allocate mental resources to analysing your opponents. It's a really common concept that you can't focus on the big picture when your mental resources are all tied up on you performing just the baseline skills. You can't figure out who to pass to when you're head down and focusing on dribbling the ball. You can't form a strategy on countering your opponent's units when you're still trying to learn the hotkeys for your SCVs. And you can't focus on that Paul spamming 50-50s when you're tunnel visioned on your own character. When you do become competent in these skills, a great way to level up your play is to start focusing on your opponent. Now, there are many ways to learn, and I implore you to try a varied approach, such as reading guides, fighting against these characters, watching great players use these characters, and my personal favourite, playing the character. Now, why would we want to play the character, and how would that help us in the matchup? Well, because you'll get into that little demon brain of theirs, and reverse engineer a winning strategy. I'm sure you're aware of characters having preferred playstyles, attacks, scenarios, and spacing, yet it may be difficult to infer exactly what it is when you're getting mixed up and thrown around. So what we can do as a more inexperienced player is utilize our narrow vision to our advantage and pick that character to put ourselves in the headspace of the enemy. Say we select Elisa, a common enemy of online play. We've been getting kicked in the shins for too long and need to start turning things around. So we're sitting in practice mode and are a bit overwhelmed at how to start unpacking this character. Which is why I do suggest you utilize this method in tandem with a brief guide or overview. We're not looking at mastering every pickup and setup, we just need to stop getting blown up. Look for something such as That Blasted Salami's character overview, or if you prefer a written guide, something like Fergus's Google Doc. This isn't necessary, of course, but I do find it, at least in Tekken's case, it may be a little difficult to find the useful tools for each character as a beginner to the series. If you really need, I have a video about unpacking a character as a beginner in another video, but let's try and focus on it from a matchup perspective. Elisa loves having these mid-range pokes, throwing around while running twos as the offensive starter, and really controlling the space with moves such as standing 4. I'm not interested in learning any of the juggle combos because it doesn't really give me the same benefit in matchup knowledge as learning is when she likes to hit that big old 4 button. So I jump online and start playing. You'll quickly find that you'd like to throw pokes out in a particular way. Maybe you like to approach with a while running 2 or a down 3, and maybe you like to hit your homing moves after you connect with a down forward 1. This will vary depending on the characters you pick, of course, and it will also change depending on you and your opponent's skill levels. You can't expect to completely figure out a character from the mindset of a Tekken god if you play Elisa like a green rank, but movement, frame data, spacing, and flow are all transferable skills. I personally find the most important thing is the perspective that you get from playing these characters. Maybe the character really doesn't like being pressured and simply doesn't have the tools to deal with it as well as other characters do. Maybe the character finds it frustrating to open up their opponent and has to take too many risks to make a comeback. Perhaps the character values wall position much more than others, or it may be things like preferring slow and patient matches. These are valuable experiences that we can take back to our main for the matchup. Now, really amazing players can analyze a lot of this stuff purely from matchup experience And you will have to refine your analytical eye for things like player habits, but I do believe putting yourself in the shoes of the opponent does help you get a jump start on the matchup. Thanks for watching. All of my subscribers and any new subscribers will receive a week-long buff to learning any matchup that's been giving you grief. Bye.